Later this week, the Black Ops Cold War multiplayer beta goes live first for PlayStation 4 users who pre-ordered or pre-purchased the game starting on the 8th, though if previous betas are any indication, they may actually go live a day earlier, but it's not confirmed. Then, after that, all PlayStation users, regardless of purchase history, get it as an open beta starting on the 10th. Then, the next weekend following, the same pattern applies. Thursday the 15th, Xbox and PC get their early access for pre-orders, and PS4 continues as an open beta. Then, on the 17th, the beta is open to all players regardless of platform or purchase history. Now, while we're gearing up for this, there's still, right now, a big question mark looming over the content, the changes, and all things in between. And today, I want to take a look at and examine the changes we know are coming, and others that are more than likely going to be present in the beta build of the game. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to anything in particular? Are you hoping to see any changes enacted? Let me know your thoughts. As well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit the subscribe button, especially if you're part of that 62% of viewers not subscribed, to stay up to date with all things Black Ops Cold War. We'll keep you up to date with all you need to know. But anyways, let's talk about the stuff that we know is coming to the beta. The first of the information we're going to be discussing today comes straight from Tony Flame, designer at Treyarch, who, as of right now, is the most vocal of the developers and team at Treyarch on the public side of things. He's provided a handful of items that we can expect to see in his discussion with other players over on Twitter. One of the biggest things that we'll be seeing here as our first change is that of some sniper changes. If you were able to play in the alpha on PlayStation 4, you know two things. One, ADS times on snipers are incredibly quick, and two, it wasn't super hard to be accurate with that quick ADS, especially given the new flinch systems where it's a visual representation of taking damage rather than the actual flinch knocks your aim out of position. You were simply just getting a visual cue for it. So that means that while taking damage in a gunfight, you can still snap in the direction of a player and get that kill with relative ease and no drawback for taking shots. So naturally, this causes some concern. Back during the alpha, Tony Flame actually tweeted, "Okay, let's talk snipers in Cold War. Crossplay is coming, but we knew it wouldn't be in the alpha. We buffed snipers to evaluate their performance in this alpha specifically. Sniper rifles will have balance changes for the upcoming beta based on our analytics data this weekend." Now, while this doesn't really give us a hand-delivered amount of what to expect with snipers, that overpowered feel that they had during the alpha is most likely going to be toned down a bit in order to bring that balanced feel. The alpha, even having talked with some of the developers about this in regards to the closed alpha press and creator sessions, it was reiterated multiple times that this was in no way indicative of a final balance or product. There was still much data and testing to be gathered and much fine-tuning to do. But sniper changes are on the horizon here within the beta. It also plays into how much they'll be adjusted, we just don't know. But as for that discussion about weapon tuning a little further, weapon tuning is also going to be coming. Not only just for those snipers, but there are most definitely standout items in the alpha that I'm sure you saw some footage of. Probably the biggest one that I can think of is the AK-74U. As hilarious as it sounds, there was even a meta within the closed capture sessions that emerged after like the first hour of gameplay. It was that obvious that it was the clear favorite and clear better gun in game that a meta even evolved in the first couple of hours of anyone in the public having any playtime with it. Now, I would imagine the AK-74U in particular is toned down, but I would imagine there's also a ton of other items that are balanced slightly, even if not drastically changed like the AK-74U may be. But that is something that's predicated upon the data from the initial alpha playtest. But I can almost guarantee you weapon balancing will be here. One big thing that I'm incredibly excited for and really happy to see is the bug with motion blur is fixed for the beta. I know that I mentioned this during streams and even in passing in some videos, but the motion blur setting was one that was entirely broken. We had three settings in the Cold War alpha for motion blur, one where it was all, one where it was only yourself, your character model was blurred when moving, and then one that was entirely off. But here's the thing, even if you turn that off, every single game it would reset, so you'd have to go in and change it every single game. By comparison, it's not the worst thing in the world, I guess, but it's incredibly tedious and annoying that that setting would not save. So you'd have to go in and adjust it every single time. Tony Flame did end up confirming that a fix is coming for the beta and that will be taken care of, which is beautiful. But additionally, one thing, if I remember my testing correctly, is that middle ground of only your character model being blurred, pretty sure that one actually didn't work. It was still set to all, even though you chose that setting. So hopefully that's fixed out as well. But another big one that was a topic of discussion was that of slide canceling. This was, again, something that even in the pre-alpha capture session for press and creators, the COD pros found this out in no time, and it became a crutch mechanic as a result. This got brought into question when it was known to be prominent, to which Saint from the Minnesota Rocker asked, will the slide canceling patch be applied for this, referring to the alpha, or will it not be available until the beta? To which Tony Flame confirmed that will be beta. So again, while it persisted in the alpha, it shouldn't be present in the beta for the majority of players experiencing the game, which is a good thing if you ask me. Finally, among other things, music changes are confirmed in a more open-ended tweet, which makes me consider even more changes are going to be made here that are not detailed. Music changes were among the things listed explicitly. A few days ago, the anticipation of the beta started to build again in another push from official marketing, in which Tony Flame tweeted, "The Black Ops Cold War beta is quite an upgrade over the alpha. I don't think anyone quite realizes what this team can do in a short amount of time. From new features to the core feel, nearly everything has taken leaps forward. My favorite part though, the new lobby music kicks in." So with the prospect of that being quite an upgrade, I'm incredibly excited to see what that holds, but I'm also sure we can guess a few of those adjustments, content additions, and more. But first, I want to take a moment to let you know about a sponsor that is helping bring you today's video and more in the future. That being my friends at Artesian Builds. Now, Artesian and I are working together to make sure that going into Black Ops Cold War and the new year, the PC powering the content you'll see on the channel here and also over on Twitch is the best that it can offer. With a new build coming including the new 30 series GPUs, with them commercially offering both 3080s and 3090s available. And I want to be able to help bring their building expertise to you. With over 1,000 custom crafted systems in the last year and a half alone, quality parts, again, even those new coveted 30 series GPUs, speedy builds and turnaround times, custom tailoring to the point where they'll even laser etch the glass for you with any design you want, and even the ability to watch them build your rig live on Twitch. They're here to bring you the best build that you can find. Click the link in the description below to learn more and get up to $100 off your next build. Now, as for the likely changes and additions, the stuff that isn't confirmed, but we can probably guess will be here is, firstly, well, new maps. One, because this is the beta now where there's going to be a little bit more than what we saw on offer in the alpha. Plus also in the trailer that we saw for the beta talking about it, hyping it up on the Call of Duty socials, the thumbnail of that is actually a map we haven't seen before, so likely being introduced here within this beta. My guess is maybe 1 or 2 maps max here that we see on top of what we already had in the alpha, but who knows, maybe there is more. In that same vein, new weapons are likely going to be coming. Now, I'm not expecting a ton more, honestly, just because there needs to be something at launch that is still a surprise. Otherwise, like we talked about in the retrospective video on Infinite Warfare the other day, the game will just be incredibly stale at launch if we've already seen everything. Meaning that more content that is new and reserved for the full game, the better in my opinion. But being that, again, it is something that is progressive build from the alpha to the beta, obviously there needs to be a little bit more added on top of that. Otherwise, you're just playing a repurposed version of the alpha. So I would imagine maybe say 1 new weapon per class perhaps, or a couple of weapons here and there total, maybe not touching each class, but some stuff that still gives a little bit more than what we saw in the alpha. Now, new modes also goes along with that. Again, the same vein, logic, and reasoning, but we end up seeing that Hardpoint's probably going to be making a return here. It is confirmed by that trailer that went live today that VIP Escort will be seen in the public for the first time. That is something that we did actually get to showcase here in terms of gameplay, but for the alpha, it was not available. So nobody really had hands-on experience outside of that capture session for the alpha that happened a couple of weeks before the alpha went live. So that's something that I'm interested in seeing the community's feedback with that one. Again, I wasn't a huge fan of that mode, but I'll let you guys make your own opinions on it. Control will more than likely be returning, again, seen in the alpha capture sessions. And then one thing that I'm incredibly excited here for to see how this works out, because we haven't heard really anything about this, but there was confirmation it will be coming in the beta, is that a fire team. Now, fire teams, again, is supposed to be that sort of multi-team, but also larger player count modes. And again, being that there isn't really anything known about it, I can't really say too much about what to expect, but I'm incredibly excited because we did see that it was confirmed for the beta, at least at one point. Maybe that's later on in the second weekend, where it's a sort of at the very tail end of the beta thing. We just don't know. But new modes will be coming as well. One thing that I am curious to see if this will be the case now is that if we do finally get to see something about the ranking system. Because like we saw in all betas so far, you do have that sort of traditional multiplayer elements of ranking up and earning items. You kind of go through the first couple of layers of that ranking system, minus a prestige, or in Modern Warfare's case, minus a seasonal reset. I mean, in Modern Warfare's case, even, you still did have that 1 to 55, even though we couldn't get all the way up to 55. You still had those enlisted ranks to go through, which acted as, at the time, a normal ranking system. In the alpha, everything was unlocked right off the bat. that. So we don't know how this is going to work at all, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see our first look at the ranking system within Black Ops Cold War. But right now, those are the changes you can expect that we know are going to be coming, and everything in between. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Firstly, I guess, is there anything you're really hoping to see come to the beta, whether it be a change from the alpha or something maybe we just haven't seen just yet that's being added in for the first time? And secondly, what platform will you be playing on? Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Black Ops Cold War, especially with the beta coming right along the horizon here. We'll keep you up to date with absolutely everything you need to know. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram to get connect me outside of YouTube a little further, practically live on both those, so those links are down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.